Do you ever think in this age of technology we've lost our connection to beauty and nature? Well, in the late 18th century, Europe was in the grip of the Enlightenment. And like today, many people found science cold and emotionless and worried that technological progress might do more harm than good. Into that void stepped the Romantics. They worshipped nature, emotion, the imagination, and said that we're corrupted by society. As the philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau said, man is born free, but everywhere he is in chains. But perhaps the greatest expression of Romanticism was in that famously romantic place, England. Now, in the 1790s, the poet William Wordsworth was going through a tough time. He took a walk through the countryside where he stumbled across the ruins of Tintern Abbey. It inspired him, and he realised only total immersion in nature could cure his sadness. He wrote, "Sounding cataract haunted me like a passion. The tall rock, the mountain, and the deep and gloomy wood. Their colours and their forms were then to me an appetite, a feeling and a love that had no need of a remoter charm." Wordsworth and his friend and fellow poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge saw that ordinary people and animals often had more integrity than sophisticated types. He famously said, "One impulse from a vernal wood may teach you more of man, or moral evil and of good, than all the sages can." Now, Wordsworth wrote his greatest poetry when he was living with his sister, Dorothy, in the Lake District. One day they passed a huge bank of daffodils, inspiring Wordsworth to write his most famous poem, "I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vale and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils." Unfortunately, Wordsworth seems to have taken Romanticism a bit too far. Many people think he had an incestuous relationship with his sister, but it doesn't stop tens of thousands of people visiting their old house every year. And English Romanticism wasn't restricted to poetry. It was perhaps most brilliantly expressed by the birth of English landscape painting, spearheaded by two of the greatest painters in history, J.M.W. Turner and John Constable, who we'll be covering tomorrow. Now follow and repost if you're enjoying this series on the Romantics.